So what changes does it have compared to the previous generation Action 5 Pro? Is this action camera worth the price upgrade? DJI's clever approach this time might exceed your expectations. The biggest upgrades are the square 1x1 inch sensor and the variable aperture from f2 to f4. These two upgrades break through the limitations of traditional action cameras in shooting scenarios. Combined with the newly released special accessories, it can extend into more interesting ways to use the camera. Due to the change in sensor size, the overall length and width of the lens and body have increased, and the thickness of the body has been increased with the addition of a more precise new sensor design. The size of the front and rear screens remains the same as the previous generation. The fast charging port has also been changed to a two-way magnetic connection. The positions of the charging and power buttons remain largely unchanged. The battery is the same 1950 mAh capacity as the previous generation. With the original Action 5 Pro's 4:3 sensor, if the initial shooting was horizontal video, the only way to achieve a vertical effect in post-production was to crop the image, which would result in a loss of image quality and some loss of downward-facing black areas. iPhone 17 Pro series also uses a square sensor for its front-facing camera. While it can switch between portrait and landscape shooting, this still requires a pre-screened selection. It cannot directly capture a 1:1 square image. DJI's custom-designed square sensor, however, has a resolution of 3840 by 3840 pixels. Whether cropped horizontally or vertically, it achieves lossless 4K video quality, eliminating the need for vertical mounting. You can freely crop to any aspect ratio, even circular images. Due to sensor size limitations, action cameras typically exhibit some noise in low light conditions, which is normal. The maximum aperture has been upgraded from f2.8 to f2, increasing light intake and improving image quality, especially in low light environments. The aperture range of f2 to f4 is stepless. In night shadow mode, you can manually select the large aperture of f2 or fix the aperture to f2, the interoctave or the starburst effect at f4. In auto mode, it automatically and steplessly adjusts the aperture size according to changes in light scene, achieving the best balance between image quality and shutter speed. Here's a comparison of the night scene images from Action 5 Pro and Action 6. The new sensor and larger aperture show a significant improvement in night scene performance compared to the previous generation. In the same night scene mode, you can see that Action 5 Pro shows better detail in bright areas. The overall white balance is more accurate, and the image detail and color reproduction are also better. In well-lit daytime scenes, the Action 5 Pro's image performance is already more than sufficient. The X6 also features some optimizations in dynamic range, preserving highlights and shadow details better than its predecessor in bright light. In bright environments, it automatically stops down to f4, resulting in more accurate white balance and a color reproduction closer to human vision. However, DJI's new variable aperture design solves the limitation of the closest focusing distance. The original fixed aperture of f/2.8 had a minimum focusing distance of 35 centimeters. Now, stopping down to f/4 reduces the minimum focusing distance to 20 centimeters, making it much more useful for shooting close-up subjects. The motion focus ring's minimum focusing distance is further reduced to 11 centimeters. You read that right, an action camera can now shoot macro. DJI engineers have truly ingeniously developed a macro lens for the X6. When attached, the camera automatically recognizes the macro lens, offering two aperture options, f/2 and f/4, thus solving the problem of close-up focusing issues with action cameras. The fluctuating focus ring allows for focusing on close-up subjects, enabling shooting of small scenes and macro subjects. This breaks through the traditional limitation of action cameras, which can only capture exemplary scenes. The large aperture of f/2 combined with a macro lens can also achieve a sharp subject and a blurred background, adding more creative possibilities. Can this macro lens be installed on the Action 5 Pro? So I tested that for everyone, but unfortunately, due to the increased sensor and lens size of the Action 6, it can't be screwed on. So if you want to use this macro function, you'll have to upgrade to the Action 6. Now, opening the parameter settings menu, you'll find a new film tone option. When the color selection is set to normal, 10x mode, you can turn on this function. It offers 6 different simulated film color options, and you can also adjust the tone density percentage. If you don't want to do post-processing color correction and want to shoot with out-of-camera colors, I suggest turning on this film tone switch before taking the picture and selecting your preferred tone. This way you can easily capture beautiful images without post-processing. Now you can double tap the 2D numbers on the screen to achieve 2 times lossless zoom by cropping the sensor. This is better than the previous generation's digital zoom in well-lit daytime environments. DJI's accessory ecosystem is excellent. It works with everything from the Action 3's fast-charging churching accessory to the current Action 6. It's also compatible with the Osmo 360 and the newly released Nano accessories. The latest interface is designed with 2-way magnetic attachment, making it much more convenient than before. For recording, it can directly connect to 2 DJI wireless microphones. The second, third, and mini models are all supported. Connecting 2 different models simultaneously is also no problem. It can record 2 people simultaneously or 1 person's voice and 1 ambient sound, significantly increasing shooting efficiency. DJI primarily positions it as a small device for travel photography or recording daily life. How do outdoor night scene enthusiasts compare to 5 Pro 4K? This Super Night Mode 4K 50 frames per second Super Night Mode. Okay, let's test 4K 25 frames per second in Super Night Mode. It's currently at 4K 25 frames per second, true 10-bit color. Without Super Night Mode, the screen on the Action 6 side looks significantly brighter. Both sides are now in Super Night Mode, 4K 25 frames per second with a white balance of 3,800. How do you think the difference is? When I watch Action 6 on my device, this side looks more natural. The white balance is locked in Super Night Mode. These are the selfie results from both sides. "4K resolution at 50 frames per second, normal mode, Super Night Mode 4K resolution at 50 frames per second. What are your thoughts? Personally, I don't think it's really necessary to upgrade just for better night scene performance. The Action 5 Pro is currently very affordable, but the difference in actual night scene shooting between the 2 generations isn't as significant as the price suggests. Also, with the larger aperture in the A6 night mode, if your arm isn't extended long enough for a selfie, your face will be blurry, resulting in a poor image quality. It uses a two-way microphone for sound recording and supports a single nano-sized connector, working smoothly from left to right. The colors in this generation are also very beautiful. The A6 also upgrades to a 4nm sensor and a single chip sensor. We use a set of flower and landscape shots to see how the in-depth landscape performance is. Looking at the sky and landscape, the A6 image is clearer while the A5 might be darker. The A6 continues the black tones of its predecessor, giving it a more classic look.